Hey everyone, welcome to the Leadership Adventure podcast. This is the blog episode for this week, and the title is The Prism and the Magnifying Glass. And before I jump into that, I just want to give you a reminder that if it's more convenient for you to receive an email with this same content, you can zip on over to my website, which is leadership-adventure.com, and you can sign up for the blog or the Devo and receive a weekly MailChimp mailing. Now, today's episode is called The Prism and the Magnifying Glass. When dealing with problems, which every single one of us as leaders will have with people, with teams, with projects, etc., sometimes all it takes is a simple change in perspective to yield a significant breakthrough. And today I'd like to use two objects to illustrate that point. Consider for today the prism and the magnifying glass. A prism is a transparent optical element with flat, polished surfaces that refract light. And the most captivating property of a prism, which I'm sure we've all seen, is the ability to disperse white light into its constituent colors, which are simply the familiar colors of the rainbow color spectrum. A magnifying glass, on the other hand, is a convex lens crafted to converge light to a specific focal point. When light rays pass through it, they bend or refract toward each other, magnifying the appearance of an object viewed through the glass. And any of you that played around with magnifying glasses as a kid, you probably also learned, as I did, that a magnifying glass was a pretty cool way to start a fire. At first glance, these two items seem completely opposite, but in reality, they are more accurately viewed as opposite sides of the same coin. And yes, it's kind of a dielectric pairing of sorts, which we've talked about frequently on the channel. Both devices, the magnifying glass and the prism, create focus, which is vital when solving any problem, but they do it in exactly opposite ways. The magnifying glass creates focus by converging light rays onto a single point, which allows for a detailed and magnified view of an object. The prism, on the other hand, creates focus by taking a single point of light and breaking it into its component parts, allowing each part to be focused on individually. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to concentrate resources, attention, and efforts on an individual piece. This emphasizes depth over breadth, encouraging a deep dive into the nuances of a specific issue to find solutions. But the problem with that is that sometimes we get so detailed and so focused on a particular point that sometimes we can't see the forest for the proverbial tree. So let's flip that coin over. On the other hand, sometimes it makes sense to break a problem into its individual parts like the prism does, so that each part can be analyzed separately. This emphasizes breadth over depth, allowing a more comprehensive understanding when looked at independently before synthesizing the insights into a cohesive whole. So if you're stuck, you may be focusing too much on one thing. Try flipping the coin over and look at things from the opposite perspective. Is that simple? You bet it is, but it may just lead to the breakthrough that you need. Hope you have a good week. Thanks as always for listening, and I will see you next time.